Okay, I'd like to call us to order at 6:03. We'll start with our roll call. Barry Andrews.
Here.
Ira Brzezinski.
Yep.
Betsy Kahn, I'm here. Gwen McMullen.
Here.
Armando Zamora. Thank you. Okay, looking at our agenda, I'm gonna call on our attorney to just give us a little clarification about the Brown Act law when it comes to special meeting agendas and public comment, because we've been a little unclear.
If I may, Madam President, just what the specific question is, so I can be sure to answer exactly what you're asking.
Yes. The specific question is, what does the Brown Act require of us as far as public comment in a special meeting?
Okay. I don't have the statute in front of me, but I'm very familiar with it. The Brown Act is clear that the board must allow for public comment at a special meeting for agenda items only. In other words, it is not required to allow for public comment on any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the agency. You're only required to have public comment on the special meeting agenda items. I will tell you, if I may, just to go a little further, having worked with dozens, if not hundreds, of public agencies over the past 20 years, it's really 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. Some agencies will allow public comment on any item within the subject matter jurisdiction, and some agencies will stick to what the Brown Act requires only, and only allow public comment on the special meeting agenda items as listed on the agenda. So it's really, you have some discretion and some leeway, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm assuming there's some custom and practice here?
My understanding from my experience so far is that we've allowed general public comment even at special meetings, and then public comment once again when it comes to the single agenda item like we have for tonight.
Yep. So the only thing that I will add is when I train on this topic at various trade organizations, we talk about what's the rationale, why did the legislature make this specific rule? And as we all know, every public agency has to have regular meetings, and the public has to know when those regular meetings are going to happen, so they can go and watch and see what you're doing and check the agenda. And special meetings are just that. They're not typically a regular occurrence. Sometimes they happen a lot because there are things going on. But because it's a special meeting, and because all of you as public servants and volunteers have limited time, the idea is a special meeting should really only be reserved for what's on the agenda, and the public have the opportunity to come to every other regular meeting and comment however they want. So that's a little bit of the public policy behind that statute.
Okay, thank you. So I think what I'm going to propose for this meeting is that we have more public comment than we are required to by allowing public comment and general public comment as we usually do, which is what we have done at these special meetings in the past. And then another set of public comment about item 3. I think moving forward, we'll have to decide, again, given our restrictions on our time and what we need to get done, whether we would continue to allow general special comment at a special meeting. We'll decide. But for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and allow that. So we did not have.
Point of order, Madam President.
Just a second, okay?
Point of order. I have asked to speak on the agenda.
I'm not quite done. I'm not quite done, Renee. I'll ask your question in just a moment.
Thank you. I was going to say, a member of the board is entitled to raise a point of order. No one else is. You're the legislative body.
Thank you. So given that I heard that there were requests about other comments that wanted to be made, I'm going to, again, have 2 sections of special comment. And what I was about to say before was we didn't have the little slips that we normally have. So I'm going to ask those of you in the audience who would like to just speak as general public comment as we normally do to let me know right now. Anyone?
Yeah.
No. Yes. Okay.
As I previously did prior to the meeting, I indicated I'd like to speak about the agenda, about general comment, and about the specific agenda item.
Okay.
And you indicated that you would honor my request.
What I'm
changed your policy.
What I'm saying now, Renee, with clarification on the legal question from our attorney, is that you will have 3 minutes for comment during general comment, and you will have 3 minutes again when we get to item number.
But no ability to comment about the agenda itself as in a regular
You
meeting.
can comment on that during the general comment. Yes, you can. From my understanding, then Renee's the only one that wants to comment on general comment. And then as far as comment on item number 3, I think we also have Renee, correct?
Yes.
And then Mr. Gronemeyer? And Mark. Okay. Thank you. So Renee, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the board. First off, Mr. Brashevsky, you're still here. That's a dishonor to the citizenry of Altadena. You need to get off this board. Secondarily, I'm not the only thing in this room that smells. Public got 24 hours and 51 minutes notice of this meeting. That stinks. That stinks. By law, yes, you can do it. Your attorney, who is paid to be here and provide you with the advice you want to hear, is correct. You can get away with it. But it is a disservice to members of this community to provide them with no posted notice at the back door, where notice of meetings is normally posted. It's not there. I saw it as I walked in. That stinks. I stink because I didn't have a chance to get a shower after doing my workout.
I'm sorry, I do want to correct you, it is posted out.
I looked as I came in, I
will
didn't see
take
it.
you out there right now and show you
Okay,
where it is.
I
You
couldn't
missed
see
it,
it.
you missed it.
But we had a whopping 24 hours notice of something going on here. And what that means to the public is basically, you folks either can't get your act together or something radically important has happened. That's the purpose of a special meeting. You've had more special meetings this year, I say this over and over and over again. You've had more special meetings this year than you have regular, okay? And at the same time, what's burning me here is you're burning public goodwill and trust in this library and in this board by holding these special meetings. I posted this, I believe, just afternoon on Nextdoor.com. The one comment I had that I saw from someone was that it's a kangaroo court, as always. Doing this sort of activity, yes, you can get away with it. You can do a lot if your attorneys advise you and you want to follow that process. You just had a meeting with a closed session at which you announced at the end that on June 11th, you were going to have a special meeting. To the public's notice and knowledge, that's the special meeting. So something has happened. We don't know if this is going to supplant or replace the public meeting. This board and, unfortunately, library management has been so quiet on it that we have no idea what's going on. None of you have been elected by the electorate. None of you have gotten any votes by registered voters to sit where you are now. You sit here by the pleasure of each other, not by the electorate. And I would remind you that the law, the Brown Act, is the minimum standard for open government. There's nothing to stop you from providing notice more than 24 hours in advance. Your attorney can advise you that hundreds of agencies around the state do just that, but you can always do better. And Altadena expects you to do so. Thank you.
Mark?
Mark Mariscal. So good evening. It's after 6. I started really focusing on the board of trustees meetings at July, August, September after I became president of the Friends, and then I got on the foundation. I'm sorry, and now I just have to come and tell you that to see my name now in a letter from Dale, and I told him I was going to say something tonight about this, but to see my name in a letter to you guys because of the original Public Record Request Act that I made, that really had to do with the fact that I was trying during those meetings of 2017 to let the board know that they needed to follow some procedures and do stuff, and didn't do it. John gets elected, president, you know, he didn't want to take the seat on that first day when he should have. Then it took him about a month and a half to get back to me about just having a meeting just to see what's going on so we could have a talk. You know, and I finally did the public record request before I, you know, I mean, obviously I didn't know who the heck Dale was, and before you guys did the stuff with Mindy. I'm just saying that, look, coming here and talking when I'm not talking for the Friends and/or if Cynthia's not here for the foundation, I'm coming because I was trying to give past experience of trustees, but to now be stuck in a letter because of something BBK, you know, with some documents that were overproduced or produced wrong or something, and, you know, I don't want to read the whole thing. And Renee's name is in it too. I just want to, and I know you guys all know this, but I just need to say this in the public record because I wasn't going to come tonight, but I mean, when I come to share some stuff, it's because I'm trying to give you some past experience of that experience, more than I'm talking about the Friends and/or the foundation if necessary. And, you know, Gwen and I had a quick discussion after the last meeting of, you know, is there conflicts of me being, you know, on two boards as, you know, others might be on two boards, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, look, it's really the dedication to the library. And so the idea that I now have to pop up, you know, in this thing, I will just say ahead of time to Ruben that I know you're supposed to contact me because I think that's what Dale was trying to say in this letter, and I would be happy if, when you close this, go into closed session, if you want to verbally tell me and then follow up with an email, I'd be happy, because I didn't even look at these darn emails personally. You know, I just, as soon as Dale sent this thing, you know, it was like it sort of, I don't want to say freaked me out, but it's just the idea that, you know, the wrong things come out, and then people get them, and as a past public employee, I mean, I understand sometimes mistakes happen, but it's important that you guys realize that, you know, I'm not looking at this stuff because I want to do some things on the bad side of the trustees. I just want to keep doing things as the five of you, you know, want to do with doing the best job you can do as a volunteer trustee, so, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. Ryan.
Dale Gronemeyer, attorney for Mindy Katay. I was pleased to see that Trustee Andrus is out of uniform like I am. I hardly recognize him without a suit. I got up this morning not expecting to come to a meeting, so pardon my unusual attire for me. I wanted to make sure and request that when you report out the action or inaction that you take tonight, that you make sure that the cameras are on and the sound recorded. 2 meetings ago, on the 7th of May, the staff apparently heard you report out that no action was taken, because that's what the minutes originally said, and I assume that that was there because that's what at least the staff thought they heard. Trustee Khan, at the intervening meeting, then amended the minutes for a very important distinction. She amended them to say no reportable action was taken. Now, that may seem like a fine distinction, but it's not, because it appears, I believe, that the board did take action in the closed session. I believe they probably took action, because I don't think Trustee Khan is going to put Mindy Katay on administrative leave without authorization from the board. So I believe that the board did vote in closed session to put Director Katay on administrative leave. After the May 7 meeting, I began to object to the failure to report out action that I believe you took. And it seems like a remarkable coincidence that the staff heard one thing, but it was amended in the minutes to say something else. I don't know, because I wasn't here. My understanding is there is no audio or video of what was reported out. I don't know whether you recorded what action or inaction you took in the book I think you maintain. But I do want to say that if you have an opportunity, I told you, I believe that failing to report out, if you in fact took the action that I think you took, is a violation of the Brown Act. I would urge you tonight, if you did that you report out tonight that you did it. Even, I believe the law requires that. Your attorney may have told you something different. But if you don't report it out,
Madam President?
I will see you in
Speaker's
court.
time is up. Thank you.
I don't think that is your role, Mr. Duran.
Thank you, Mr.
I will take
Burnett.
my direction from the board, Mr. Grunmeyer.
Yeah.
If I may,
okay.
Madam President,
Well,
just-
she didn't direct you.
Just to,
And it's not your job to shut me up, young man.
Oh, man.
I'm really not trying to create a ruckus.
Sure you are. You did.
I would really appreciate your comment now.
Thank you, Madam President. I can't speak to what the staff heard or didn't hear because, quite frankly, I don't remember who was there that night, but I can inform the board and refresh your recollection that I was the one who spoke the words to which Mr. Grunmeyer is referring, not President Connor, not any member of the board, and I reported out publicly that the board took no reportable action at that meeting. So if your comments at the last meeting were to ensure that the minutes accurately reflected what I said, then that is completely acceptable and
They were.
required. Thank you.
With that, we're moving on to item 3, which is closed session. If
Oh,
you-
but comment?
Oh, I'm sorry, Renee. I apologize. I forgot. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, I'm very confused, and I would imagine others in the public are as well, as to the reason and rationale for this meeting. You have held a closed session, if I'm not mistaken, on this same topic. I wonder if perhaps, again, just to show my confusion, it may reflect that of informed members of the public. I can't say, and I won't suggest that I speak for them, but you held a closed session on this topic, as far as I can tell, recently, announced out again June 11th. One of my concerns, I'm a lot of different things. In this case, call me a constituent and a local taxpayer. Mr. Duran and his firm, Bill. I'm sure that Mr. Duran and his firm, Bill, as they are entitled for not only time here, but travel time to and from these meetings. So it behooves this board to ensure that money intended for programs and books and materials and all the other lovely things, improvements and structures, et cetera, is spent as wisely as possible, meaning that this board has a responsibility not only to give, members of the public reasonable notice of what's going on and when it meets, and meet at least the minimum standards, if not, go that little extra mile. But you have a responsibility to members of the public to, again, get your act together. And if you need to go longer on one night than you think you might otherwise need to get through all the points of discussion on a given issue, please do so, because it's more expensive to get Mr. Duran and or one of his associates here time after time after time. It costs the library, it costs the public money to do that. It also raises issues and concerns within members of the public in terms of what the heck is going on. Now, I know you can't speak to that, but if you thought a few days ago that June 11th was going to be a great day to have a meeting, then the rest of us, the members of the public who don't know what's going on, have to assume that there has been some dramatic change, something that has occurred that would cause either another significant exposure to potential litigation, or something has changed in the case you've been talking about. Another element here, though, is that you've apparently started something and not finished it, which confuses me. I tracked and looked, and I went, wait a minute. They were doing a public employee performance review for the library director. They reported nothing out. I assume that means they didn't finish it. But now they're talking about significant exposure to potential litigation. And they're meeting more than they thought they would. So what the heck is going on this board?
That's your time, Renee, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we're now moving to item 3. I don't know if any of you have the stamina and desire to stick around, but if you do, because the library is closed, we have set some chairs out in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome to sit, or not. So we are adjourning out of public session at 6:25.
Sounded like a Boston Cross.
All right, we are recessing back into open session according to agenda item 4 at 8:27. We have no reportable action to report, and we are going to, I need to ask for a motion to adjourn. Gwen has moved, do I have a second?
Second.
Terry has seconded, all in favor, raise your hand, please. We adjourn at 8:27 and a half.